All right. Welcome, everybody. This is Khalil, Amani's World 100. Khalil, Amani's World 100. And I'm your host, and my name is Professor Khalil Amani. That's right. I want to take time out to thank Mr. Wack 100 and to address Mr. Wack 100, my homie. That's right. Thank you, Mr. Wack 100, because my big homie, my other big homie, is the FBI. What? I said, thank you, Mr. Wack 100. My big homie is the FBI, the fucking government. And I'm glad about it. So I want to talk a little bit, little lighthearted conversation. I got my big homie Wack 100 hat on. Don't I look fly? I'm 65 years old and I'm still fly. But I want to talk and address Mr. Wack 100 because me and Wack 100, you know, they say 6 degrees of separation, but me and Wack 100, we are 1 degree separation. Like, we know the same people and we were involved in the same situation within hip hop. Yeah, I'm gonna give you a little background on my background and my relationship and my dealings with Mr. Wack 100. But I wanted to do this video because he said something that I just wanted to give him a standing ovation. That's right. I think we should start off with that. Mr. Wack 100, he's a smart young man. He's a smart young man. I don't care what folks say about him. He has kept his nose clean. He has changed his life. He has gotten away from Big U. But I remember when he was with Big U, actually. Yeah, I do. But I want to just, talk about Wack 100 for a minute. Okay, just wanted to check something out. I talked to Wack 100 on the phone. Wack 100 has interviewed me on Clubhouse. Me and Wack 100 used to work for the same magazine, Straight Stuntin' Magazine. Shout out and rest in peace, rest in heaven, and rest in power to my hip-hop boss, the Drama King, the immortal one, the gatekeeper of all things hip-hop. I'm talking about DJ K Slay. I wrote and worked for him for 10 beautiful years. Yes, I did. I'm in damn near every issue of Straight Stuntin' Magazine. You can find me from the 2-year mark until the 12-year mark. You can find Khalil Amani in damn near every issue of DJ K Slay's Straight Stuntin' Magazine. But I wanted to make this video because Mr. Wack 100 said something profound. As a civilian, I wanted to acknowledge him for saying this. Let's just get right to it. This is Mr. Wack 100. As he talks about we civilians, our right to have a big homie. All the Crips and the Bloods and all these gang members, they have big homies. And when shit don't go right, they can call the big homies up and they can get some straightening. Well, what about us civilians? Who do we call? Ghostbusters. I said, Mr. Wack 100, he said something very wonderful, very poignant. That dude is smart. And I want to share what he said with you all, my audience. So let's go. This was about 2 days ago on Clubhouse.
Sorry. And they probably ain't gonna like it that I say this. Civilians, like gang members have big homies, they OGs, and they killers. Civilians, you got big homies too, called them in law. So when people come at y'all, you call your big homies. They do what a civilian's supposed to do. If you call your big homies on a civilian, they can't get mad. So why you get mad when the civilians call their big homies on you? They are tax-paying citizens.
I caught my stepson spying on me.
Wow, that was brilliant. Right in time for a stupid commercial. Let's get back that past that. That's right. And let's run it back, actually. Let's just run it back. He's talking about civilians having a right to defend themselves with a little bit of justice. That's right.
Do and start pushing me. I'm sorry. And they probably ain't gonna like it that I say this. Civilians, like gang members have big homies, they OGs, and they killers. Civilians, you got big homies too, called them in law. So when people come at y'all, you call your big homies. They do what a civilian's supposed to do. If you call your big homies on a civilian, they can't get mad. So why you get mad when the civilians call their big homies on you? They are tax-paying citizens. We are in the United States of America, a land that's governed by law. Just because you say it's right on your block, don't mean it's right on their block. This is what I understand. You've never heard tell you, Wack set me up to get robbed. Wack extorted me. You ain't never heard they know shit like that about me.
I ain't know. I swear to God, and I'm just keeping it facts on.
All right, that's basically the clip. And so Wack 100 is giving license and permission to those of us that are civilians to seek refuge with the law, with the government, with the police, with the FBI, hell, with the CIA. This is what Wack 100 is saying. He says the gang members, the Crips and Bloods, Pyrus and GDs and BDs, they all have homies and they have big homies. And when something goes wrong and there's a problem, they can call the homies and they can call the big homies to come help them out. But the mentality that a lot of gang members have, they don't want to play fair exactly. No. They want to be able to call their homies and their big homies and go beat up or unalive somebody. But then they don't want nobody to snitch, to rat, or to go to the authorities. Now that's not fair, gang members. You got all these people, these ruffians, these hardened criminals and street dudes that will fight, stab, and shoot. And then you have the poor civilian. You want him to be bound by some inanimate, intangible law called the law of no snitching. Wack 100 he's a reasonable man. And he's saying that if the Crips and the Bloods got big homies, then we civilians should be allowed to have big homies too. And our big homies aren't other ruffians and street dudes. Our big homies is the law. Now, granted, I'm a lot older than Wack 100. He's 47, I believe. I'm 65. What he's saying is something I've already lived by years ago. I've lived by this code that as a civilian, I'm not going to have no hood nigga, no Crip, no Blood, no BD, or no GD. No gang member is going to tell me that if somebody unalives my mama or my wife or my child, if somebody murders somebody that I love and close to me, I have to abide by some phantom street code. It was always, all my life, it was always, motherfuck your street codes. I'm going to the man, to the police, or to the FBI. Now, some of you all know my backstory. Oh, I have a backstory. Some of you all know my backstory. That in fact, and indeed, I was in the same position as Alpo. I was in the same position as Frank Lucas. I was in the same position as many mafiosos who turn rat and snitch. What am I talking about? I was once in the Federal Witness Security Program, aka WITSEC, what a lot of you novices and street dudes call the Witness Protection Program. I am a product of the Witness Protection Program. I openly admit it and talk about it. As a matter of fact, I wrote a book about it. I wrote a book about my life, and if you read, it's called My Ignorant and Dysfunctional Life in the Yahweh Cult and the Witness Protection Program. Khalil Amani. There I am. Yeah. Open government informant, ain't scared to say so. That's part of my story. It's part of my backstory. It is what it is. And yes, I'm a part of the hip-hop world. And me and Mr. Wack 100, our lives are intertwined. Even though, yeah, no, I was going to say that, no. I have met Wack 100 personally. That's right. Let me tell you the story about me meeting Wack 100 and how after I met Wack 100, he was going to kick my ass. You see, every year, the late, great DJ K. Slay used to throw a party in August for his birthday. And this party was hosted on a boat on the Hudson River in New York City. And I would go to them. I've been to 4 or 5 of them over the years. And one particular party that DJ K. Slay threw on the Hudson River, I was there. And guess who I saw on the dock before we left, before we got on the boat? Guess who I saw? I saw one Wack 100. He's a kind of short fellow. I mean, I'm short too. I'm 5'7". I think we're the same height. We're both short. But he was shorter than I thought he was going to be. I'm short, 5'7". But he was about 5'7". You know, kind of buff and stocky. And I said, oh, there's Wack 100. Let me get a picture with Wack 100. Now, back in these days, Wack 100, he wasn't as known as he is today. But I knew him because Wack 100 was the West Coast CEO of Straight Stuntin' magazine. Got it? And I was a writer for Straight Stunting magazine. Right now, my face, my picture, and my words are in Mr. Wack 100's house right now. Wherever he lives right now. If he has copies of Straight Stunting magazine, then I'm in it. I'm all up in Wack 100's house right now. As a matter of fact, let me come back to the magazine. Back to the party. I'm about to get off subject. And so, I see Wack 100. I'm semi-starstruck. I know who he is. I've seen him pictures of him and people like Suge Knight. I know he's a mover and shaker out in the West Coast. He's also the CEO of Straight Stunting. I know he's important. I know he has a little money, a little notoriety, and a little fame. So when I saw him, naturally, I said, let me get a picture with my man Wack 100. Now, he doesn't know that I was a government informant. He doesn't know that I was in the witness protection program. He didn't know that I cooperated with the FBI for about 8 years. 8 years to bring down a murderous, notorious, religious Hebrew Israelite cult named the Yahwehs in Miami in the 1980s. He doesn't know nothing about that. By God, it was nighttime. He probably didn't know that I was a writer for the same magazine that he was the West Coast CEO of. So I step up to Wack 100 all jovial and excited about the photo op. And guess what happened? Mr. Wack 100, he blew me off. Pause. I said, Mr. Wack 100, he blew me off. Pause. I said, Mr. Wack 100, he gave me the Heisman. Now, he wasn't mean about it. He wasn't disrespectful about it. He said, not right now, homie. Catch me later. I'm paraphrasing. Basically, he would take a picture with me, but he was doing some things. He was moving around as I would find out later on. Whatever moving around means, he was handling some business. But I was hurt. I was butthurt. I was dejected. I was in my fifis and my feelings. Damn. Wack said no to a picture. But he said check him later and we'll get the picture. I said okay. But then I got to thinking, and then my pride and my manhood and my ego kicked in. I said, what if I go up to him a second time at the wrong time and he tells me no a second time? How well would that work on my psyche if a man rejected me 2 times for a goddamn picture? I don't know if I can handle that. And so I said, that's okay. You know, the little gangster that's in my bones, it ain't much. But the little gangster that I do have said, motherfuck that shit. I didn't say motherfuck Wack 100. He a gangster. But I said, I ain't gonna ask a nigga 2 times to take a motherfucking picture. Hell to the no. And so I went on the boat. It was a wonderful night. It was a wonderful night. We took lots of pictures. I took pictures with K-Slay and Ray J. All kind of people. All those beautiful, bootylicious and bodacious urban models. It was a couple hundred on the boat. Oh yeah, what a wonderful time. Had my drinky drinks. I was doing my thing. Yeah. Maybe I should show you all a picture or two of me and K-Slay. Because I know some of you are new over here. Like, nigga, you ain't work with no K-Slay. You ain't, who are you? Who is you? Sometimes you gotta show people sometime. Let's go to my photos, go to my albums. Let's see. Let's just go real quick. We could do this real quick. Okay. Okay, how about, there we go. There's me. That's me and DJ K-Slay. At this picture, I was about 46 years old. That's me and DJ K-Slay on the boat. And Wack 100 was there at this time. Show you another picture. There's me and Ray J, Brandy's brother and film star and now entrepreneur himself. Me and Ray J. I was doing my thing. Here's another picture. But that picture's in me and K-Slay in Miami. I said I used to write for Straight Stuntin' magazine, y'all. Yes, I did. Okay, so you get the picture. Let me see. Okay, that's good enough. I was a writer for DJ K-Slay's magazine. So, going back to Mr. Wack 100. So, since he didn't take this photo op, my ego was a little bruised, I must admit. But we got on the boat and we had a grand old time. And I saw him on the boat, but I dare not ask him a second time for a picture. I really wish I would have put my ego to the side and went up to him and said, "Hey, can I get that picture now, Mr. Wack 100? I wish I would have done it. But that little bit of ego and that little bit of gangsterism in me, that manhood thing said, fuck that shit. So I never got my picture. Now fast forward. I was hurt. Now mind you also, I didn't tell you this. While I was writing for DJ K-Slay's Straight Stuntin' magazine, let me show you this too. Me and Wack 100 are in Straight Stuntin' magazine together. I'm just giving you the background. Our relationship, which is not really a relationship, but our paths have crossed as it relates to hip hop. And so I actually have, and I'm sure that Mr. Wack 100 has this particular edition of Straight Stuntin' at his home because he's in it. But guess what? I'm in it also. So let's just go and show you that real quick. I said this is Straight Stuntin' magazine, y'all. We talking about Rosa Acosta and Pinky. Got Mac Miller, Case 2, Rico Love. That's Rico Love on the cover. Ashley Logan, her fine white ass on the cover. We open it up. Let's see maybe we can see what year this is. I'm not sure. Something to add about Rick Ross and Dream Chasers. So that's Meek Mill. We're talking about 2010-ish or so. Yes, we are. We go down here to the Straight Stuntin' magazine, issue 18. It's issue 18. Publisher Keith Grayson. That's DJ K. Slay. There goes the photographers and contributing writers. There I am, right there. Khalil Amani. I got a flex. I got a flex. Oh yeah. Nationally and internationally recognized DJ K. Slay. There is the drama king, y'all, in all of his fantabulous glory. Mr. Stuntastic, may he rest in peace. But Wack 100 was the West Coast CEO of this magazine, owned by DJ K. Slay. You got the connection? Okay, you got the connection. Letters. And now let me show you Wack 100, aka Cash Jones. There he is. He's got a feature in this magazine. And there is the handsome young man, Mr. Wack 100. I'm no longer salty and bitter that he would not take a photo op at DJ K. Slay's party with me. But this is Mr. Cash Jones, aka Wack, or as we know him today, Wack 100. In the magazine, in Straight Stuntin' magazine. All right, and I think if we turn the page, there's another nice picture of this young man. Uh-oh. Mr. Wack. Get out of here. Mr. Wack 100. Y'all got it? A little bit of write-up for him. But I want to show you that even though I was a government informant and I was in the witness protection program and I cooperated with the FBI for 8 years, I found myself deeply entrenched in DJ K. Slay's Straight Stunt magazine, where none other than Wack 100 would make an appearance, and where Wack 100 was the West Coast CEO of the same magazine. Let's turn here. And there I am. There I am. Khalil Amani. I did an article, remember some time ago, they had that little viral fad called planking, where people would just go lay out. There I am planking. It was a fad, 2000, I'm going to say around 2010. Everybody was planking, just laying around planking. And I wrote an article called Planking on the Souls of Black Folk. And I took it back to slavery, as you see, and how they used to make black men and women and children plank on the bottom of the hulls of slave ships, how they had us in there like sardines. And so I went on to teach people that this so-called planking that everybody's laughing at and this viral thing is not so funny when you think about the history and the legacy of where planking came from. Planking can go back and is derived from the stacking of slaves, captives in the hulls of slave ships. And there I am down there with my handsome self. Again, I was about 46 years old, doing my thingy. But my point is that me and Wack 100 have shared the same spaces. A gang member and a government informant. That's just the world we fucking live in. We're a government informant. Where someone who was in the federal witness protection program ends up in the same magazine as a straight up Piru gang member. Mr. Cash Jones. What a beautiful country we live in. What a beautiful country we live in, where gang members and government informants can be in the same space at the same time. Only in America. I'm being a little facetious and whatnot, but you get my point. You get my point. Yeah, I met Cash Jones, aka Wack 100, at the DJ K-Slade party, August of 2010-ish. But then he snubbed me for a picture. He snubbed me because he said he was moving around. Check for him later. And then my egotistical ass got into a bag. I got my panties in a bunch. I said, fuck that shit. I ain't asking no goddamn grown-ass man for a picture twice. I wouldn't give a fuck if it was Jesus. That's the mentality I took. It's stupid. And again, I wish I had not been so egotistical and said, let me just wait a little bit and ask him for a picture when I think he's ready. But I just want to share a little bit, have fun, make light of the fact that, yeah, me and Cash Jones, Wack 100, we traveled in the same spaces. We looked at each other eye to eye once upon a time on the very goddamn dock of the Hudson River. I looked that man in his eyes, eye to eye, and said, Wack 100, can we get a picture? Nah, homie, catch me later. I'm moving around. Oh, my bad. My bad. And Wack 100, he knows, if he sees this video, he knows about this experience because it didn't end there. It didn't end there. Why it didn't end there? It just didn't. I wrote an article about a year later that had Wack 100 wanting to kick my arse. Did you hear what I just said? I wrote an article that damn near got me busted up. I ain't no killer, but don't push me. I mean, my pen game, my wet, smoking, sharp pen almost got me an ass whooping. Well, what are you talking about, Khalil? Amani? Well, about a year later, not only was I writing for all hip-hop, not only was I writing for DJ K-Slade's Straight Stuntin' magazine, I was writing for allhiphop.com. Let me go get one of my All Hip Hop shirts real quick. Okay. In this line, you know, I'm a nobody, so you gotta have evidence and proof and shit like that. There's my name, Khalil Amani, and if you see on the shirt, allhiphop.com. Is that what it says? Oh no, that's my Straight Stuntin', duh. I got an allhiphop.shop. I don't know what I did. Let me see. Let me think real quick. My allhiphop.com. It might be in this room right here. I thought that was my all hip hop. That's my Straight Stuntin'. Let me see. That's my Tupac shirt. Maybe I can't find. Maybe I won't be able to find it. Yeah. Y'all still hear me talking? Okay. Okay, I can't find it. But anyway, people, you know you can believe me because I don't lie. I don't lie. If I lied to you, what is this right here? Oh, that's Straight Stuntin'. What is this right here? Oh, this is my Khalil Amani and Tupac. I used to be a dancer. I said I used to be a dancer. Is that Khalil and Tupac? Yeah, that's me. That's me right there, and that's Tupac right there. We both were dancers. I used to be a ballet dancer. That's right. Anyway, I have another shirt that has allhiphop.com on it. Hold on one second. I know I can find it. I think I can find it. Would you lie to me? Hey, I found it. I found it. That was okay. So here's my all hip hop. I used to be a writer for allhiphop.com, the world's most dangerous hip hop site. There's my name, Khalil Amani, and there's the allhiphop.com logo. Oh yeah. And I was doing this shit in my 40s and 50s as an old nigga. So there's my allhiphop.com shirt. These are old shirts. That's my allhiphop.com shirt. And there's a t-shirt when I was writing for DJ K Slave's Straight Stuntin' magazine. Got it? Got it. Got it. Isn't it wonderful when you have receipts about shit? Magazines and shit, t-shirts and shit. But let me tell you how I almost got my ass whooped now. That's right. I ain't ashamed to say. I'm telling you, Mr. Cash Jones, Mr. Wack 100, he would have dog walked my ass. I mean, he's 47 and I'm 65, so that means I am 47, 50, that's 10 years, and then 3 more. I'm about 17 years. Oh, I'm 17 years older than Mr. Wack 100. And because I'm 17 years older than Wack 100, he should be able to kick my ass expeditiously. And I believe he would have. I would have fought him back. If we would have had word, I would have fought him back, but it would have been a futile effort because I believe he would have dog walked me. But you never know. My adrenaline, my fear, being chased in a corner like a cat, who knows? I might have got the drop on Wack 100 and it might have been Khalil Amani for the win. I'm just talking shit. I got love for Mr. Wack 100. It's my brother. He's my comrade. Even though he's a gang member, Pacoima Piru blood, and I'm a fucking government informant, FBI gang, we can coexist in the same sphere. That's the beauty of America. And that's why when Wack 100 was hanging out with Tekashi 6ix9ine, niggas had a problem with it, but it was business and I got it. I got it. But back to this, how I almost got my ass whipped by Mr. Wack 100. So he didn't take a picture with me. I licked my wounds, but I had a good time at that boat ride with DJ K Slave. I was too chicken shit to ask Wack 100 for a second time to get a picture. So I left it alone. But about a year later, my silly ass, still somewhat butthurt over the fact that I couldn't get a picture, I had the motherfucking nerve to write an article about Wack 100. Now the article wasn't about the picture. No. I'm trying to pull up the article because I forgot I should have had that ready. But the article wasn't about the picture. That just loomed in my cerebellum, in my cerebrum, in my medulla oblongata, and my frontal cortex, my frontal lobes, my gray matter. That incident, it just loomed in my mind. It was like a scab that was fresh, and if I just scraped it a little bit, it would start bleeding. Oh, yes, it was. I was kind of salty. But that's not what my article was about. That almost got me an ass whooping. Oh, no. My article was about Wack 100 being a bully. Let me just see if I have that article handy. I should have, I'm usually having everything ready to go Because I can't stand to watch someone's video and then go, hold on, let me go find this. Like I had to try to find these t-shirts. Because all this shit was off the dome, off the cuff. I hadn't thought about showing you t-shirts and shit like that. So sometimes that happens. But let me just see if I had that article about Wack 100. I used to have a website, and on my website I had all of this over there already done. But I don't know if I have that one handy. But the article was about Wack 100. We're talking about 2010, when it was becoming apparent, or at least it appeared, that Wack 100 had a bully streak going on. Yeah. I don't think Wack was a bully, but some of the things that were happening were kind of bullyish. Like the time he was at Club Live on South Beach, Miami. He wasn't a bully, but he comes out the club with The Game, the rapper, and a white rapper named Stitches is out there threatening to fight The Game. And the white rapper Stitches approaches The Game, but before he could get his shit together, it was my man, Mr. Wack 100, that threw an overhand right, that put Mr. Stitches on his pockets and had him on Queer Street. That's not being a bully. That's protecting the enterprise, The Game. Because Wack 100 is The Game's manager. But just that ideal, that brutish, brute force, I will knock your motherfucking ass out. It gave him kind of a Suge Knight-esque kind of vibe. I'm trying to see if I got that article. I should have it. But sometimes I don't be having it. But I want you to see the article if I have it. If I have it. Well, I don't think I have it. Wow. You know what? Let's Google the article. Maybe we can find it at allhiphop.com. Khalil, Amani, Wack 100. Let's see if there's any connection. Let's see. There's one on Stitches where I talk about Stitches. White rapper failed. Yeah, let's see what year. That was 2015. That's not it. But that's about the incident where Wack 100, booyah, knocks the shit out of him. Let me just check one more place. Let's go to Google. We go Khalil, Amani, all hip hop, and we'll put Wack in there too. Uh-oh, I put all hop hop. Damn, did I write that article too? Damn. Did I write that article too? Let's see who wrote that article. Shit, I wrote that one too. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, we could talk about that too. Let's try one more thing. I'm trying to show you the article that almost got me an ass whipping, okay? That's all. Work with me, people. Google, let's go. Let's go. Khalil, Amani, all hip hop Wack 100. Let's try that. Stitches, there goes that one. Okay, let's see. Not showing it. Well. I got it somewhere, but it's not showing. Let me go back to this one. why that article's not in here. I'm going to try one more thing. Bear with me. Because that article is important. And yes, I should have had it ready before we even did all this shit. Khalil, Amani, all hip hop archive. Try that. But what I did, I recognized that this guy, Wack 100, excuse me, Mr. Wack 100, and he was starting to look like a baby Suge Knight. Why I go and say that? Why I go and say that? And I wrote this article. I wrote it for allhiphop.com, and allhiphop.com, they have 37 million people a month that visit their site. Well, one of those 37 million people that visit the site was Wack 100. And he saw the article, and he wasn't pleased. He was not pleased. Oh no, he wasn't. Let me do this here. He wasn't pleased. Maybe I'll find it right here. I'm in the archives of allhiphop.com. That's all it's showing me. But I do have a picture. I do have a screenshot of the actual article. We can do that. Let's just do that. Let's just do that. Okay, so we pull up here. Okay. Yeah, here it goes. Here it goes. Oop. Here it goes. So I not only did I write for allhiphop.com, back in those days I had my own website. It was called the Khalil Amani Reader. It was for people that like to read. And so here's the article that almost got me a beat down. Here it is. See? It's right there. Let me get my glasses so I can see. Here it is. The article is called, so check out, Wack 100, Anti-Suge or Boss Bully. On the Khalil Amani Reader. See? That used to, I don't have that website anymore. See right here? Wack 100, Anti-Suge or Boss Bully. I wasn't disrespectful, and I wasn't getting at him. God, I wish I had the article. I wish I had the article. That's on my site. But then allhiphop.com, when I gave them the article, they ran it like this. See, allhiphop.com, that's me. Allhiphop.com got me. And they rearranged my title, and they wrote, is the game's manager, Wack 100, the anti-Suge Knight or biggest boss? There's the article at allhiphop.com. That's the article that almost got me an ass whooping. Got it? Now, let me do this here. I'm going to check one more place because I would love to find the article and actually read it to you all. It's kind of funny because the article was lighthearted. It wasn't mean-spirited. It really wasn't. Let me just go back up to the top, to the tippy top. You can see what happened. What happened was when I might have put this article in straight stun. What had happened was when I closed my website, I was downloading all of my articles. And some of them I didn't end up downloading. I had probably 500 articles, and I know I didn't get them all. Let's see. Let me see. Let me just quickly look again. I see all these wonderful articles that I wrote. And maybe I sent it to DJ K Slay. I can look at those emails real quick too. Okay. That's crazy that I didn't get that one, because that was a good one. That was an article for the ages. Okay, so it's not there. Wow. That's crazy that I didn't get that one in. Okay. I didn't get that one in. I know if I go after I get off the air, this video, I'll find it somewhere else, and I may just come back and read it, you know, just read it for the hell of it. Let me go back to those years back there and skirt down. Let's skirt down a little bit. But that article, it was funny, it was satirical, but when you're dealing with a gangster, I don't know about being funny and satirical. I'm looking down way back in Young Thug. I see all kind of articles. Let me just take a moment. I hate having people waiting while I'm doing shit. I hate these kinds of videos where there's dead space because I'm looking for something. But it's very important, if I have the article, to show you the article, because it was funny. It was funny. Stripper, ex-Hebrew Israelite. Man, I see all kind of articles. Black bourgeoisie. We're in 2015. Okay, we might be close. We might be close to finding it. Empire. Bishop Don Juan. A gay rapper is coming. Kanye West. Oh, I had some great articles back in the days. Some great articles. 2014, pesky rappers. Let's see, skirt thingy. No snitching. Inside inmate. Let's see. I'm just gonna see. I wish I could put that shit on hold while I do this, but that's okay. That's okay. Alright. So I guess I don't have it. Is it raining outside? Something's Confederate flag. Lord Jamar. Oh, Benzino. I wrote about everybody. Dr. Boyce. The Last Poets. I might just find it. And thank you all for continuing to stay here with me, because I got more to talk about. But I want to see if I can find that article. Illuminati, ASAP Rocky. Wow, I got a lot of great articles. Sticks and Stone, They Break My Bones. Papa Molly. Ooh, with some great articles. And I'm going to do these, I'm going to put these out for everybody to watch, because it's great writing. Okay. The hairy vagina. I wrote about everything. Shawty Low. My goodness. Looking up hip hop skirt. Okay. Alright. Jesus. Jay-Z. Oh, I had some great articles. Great articles. But I guess I'm not going to find that one. But I'm going to go off air and I'm going to find it later tonight. Straight stunning. Sarah Bartman. God damn. Planking. I see the planking one I just showed you in the magazine. Illuminati. Oh my God, I see so many articles. Okay. Alright. I'm not going to find the article. Shame on me. Shame on me. But that article, I might do a part 2. I'm gonna find it and I'll come back and do a part 2. So if you want to see the article, just check back and I'm gonna find the article when I get off and I'll do a part 2. But that article landed in the eyes of Mr. Wack 100 and he was not pleased about it. Oh no. How do I know he wasn't pleased about it? Because he wrote something on Instagram. He tagged me on Instagram and let me know that when he first looked at my article, the intention for him was to kick my ass at the next DJ K-Slay party. Let me show it to you. It's a receipt. This is Wack 100's Instagram. And so he says, Wack 100 says, he's talking to World Star J to be exact. And he says, yo, World Star J, hashtag J, you need to bring this guy to your team. At Khalil, Amani wrote a caption that had me ready to whoop his ass. Did I read that right? At Khalil, Amani wrote a caption that had me ready to whoop his ass, made me research, forced me to his link to see what the fuck was going on. In other words, he knows how to pull you into the story. Hashtag one hell of a job. Shout out to my friend Wack 100. But there it is. Wack 100, he tagged me. He was talking to World Star J about whipping my ass, and he tagged me. That's some real gangster shit to talk to somebody else, but to tell me through a third party that he was going to whip my ass, and he tagged me as though I was not standing there. It's like 3 people standing around and 2 people are talking and one man says, I'm going to whip this nigga's ass standing right next to me and he's not even looking at me. That's what it was like. And I ain't going to lie. When I read Khalil Amani wrote a caption that had me ready to whoop his ass, I ain't going to even lie. The bitch ass nigga in me came to the surface. I said, oh my God, what have I done? But he said, my caption had Wack 100 ready to whoop my ass. But he said, made me research, forced me to his link to see what the fuck was going on. In other words, he knows how to pull you in to the story. One hell of a job. And so what Wack 100 is talking about, he's talking about this article right here, where I asked the question, is Wack 100 anti-Suge or boss bully? Wack 100 anti-Suge or boss bully? See, Wack did not want to be known as a bully, or he did not want himself in the same light as Suge Knight. That was my article. And then when allhiphop.com got me, when they got my article, they wrote this long ass, they said, is the game's manager, Wack 100, the anti-Suge Knight, or the biggest boss? Exclusive hip-hop news. But this is the article, and he was going to whip my ass. Now, I would go on to tell Wack 100, I would go on to remind him that he snubbed me for a picture at the K-Slay party, and he commented on that. And Wack 100 would say at Khalil Amani, wasn't intentional. He's talking about telling me that he couldn't take a picture with me. Wasn't intentional, my nigga. I might have been moving or on a nigga. I got you whenever. Appreciate the press. West. And so I had much respect for him when he, basically apologized and said that when he told me I couldn't have a picture, he wasn't being a dickhead. He wasn't being a super dweeb. He wasn't acting like he was too high and mighty. He was moving around, or he might have been on a nigga's ass. And so I just say at Wack 100, cool. You just made my week. And he did. Just for Wack 100 to respond to me and to tell me that he wasn't being a fucking dickhead, that he just was busy. I just caught him at the wrong time. I appreciate a man of Wack 100's stature, that he takes time for the little guy and lets me know that he's not a dickhead, and he did not mean to snub me for the picture, but it wasn't intentional, my nigga. I might have been moving. He was moving. Or on a nigga. But then he lets me know, the next time I see you, I got you whenever. And then he said, I appreciate the press. And so, he actually appreciated the fact that I got Wack 100 at allhiphop.com on the first fucking page. I did that. And of course, I've been on the front page of allhiphop.com myself. Let me show you. Yeah. Let me show you. Here it comes. Give it a moment. There it goes. There I am. Allhiphop.com. I wrote an article about my damn self. It was called Old Guy Gone Wild. The Adventures of a Hip-Hop OG on the Loose. I'm rocking the gray beard there. Yes, I am fully 100% gray. But there I am. And that's at a K-Slay event. I said, that's at a K-Slay event in New York City. You see the t-shirt I have on? It says Coon. You see the white hat I got on? It says Blogger. Well, let me show you me in that same shirt, in that same hat, at that same event, taking a picture with DJ K-Slay. Check this. I really do this. There I am. Same t-shirt, Coon. Same white hat, Blogger. And in that room, in that same party on the Hudson River is none other than Wack 100 somewhere in the crowd on that boat. But at least my hip-hop boss, may he rest in power, in love, and in peace. At least I got photo ops with my hip-hop boss, DJ K-Slay. Show you another one. DJ K-Slay. That's in Miami on South Beach, me and DJ K-Slay. Let me show you one or two more. One more. See, that used to be the name, the Khalil Amani Reader, that was the name of my website. But there we are again. Got the same turban on. Me and DJ K-Slay. And I think you've seen, show you this one here. There I am again. Me and DJ K-Slay. And I got more than I thought I had. Here's another one. Me and DJ K-Slay. That's Miami also. And I'm representing Straight Stuntin' Magazine. I got a Straight Stuntin' Magazine in my hand. Facts. And show you another picture. It's me and DJ K Slay. Why is this picture turned? How do we turn this picture? That's interesting. There it goes. There's DJ K Slay. And there is Khalil Amani. And we are at Sirius XM Radio, New York City, with 5 gay rappers. I brought 5 gay rappers to New York City to be on Street Sweepers Radio. Wack 100 knows about Street Sweeper Radio. He's been on the show many times. This guy here, he's not a gay rapper. That's DJ K Slay's producer. This chick right here, she's not a lesbian rapper. She's an author, and there's her book right there. But this white guy, the guy in the green, the guy in the back, and that guy, they're all openly gay rappers. This is the kind of shit that my boss, DJ K Slay, used to do. Bring 5 openly gay rappers on the radio? Where they do that at? I said DJ K Slay was ahead of his time. I tell ya, he sure was. He sure was. He sure was. He sure was. I got another picture, but I don't see it on my... I got another picture of me and K Slay actually in the studio. I need to get that on my thing. I don't have that one handy. No, I don't. By now, you can tell that I'm somewhat of a somebody. I'm somewhat special. And about 5 or 6 months ago, I had the good pleasure to be interviewed on Wack 100's Clubhouse channel. And I want to say shout out to my dear friend, my beautiful friend, Leak You Interloper Nation, because I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it.
He also saving photos.
There we go. But here I am, my friend. Everybody, if you want to know about government conspiracies, UFO phenomenon, aliens, and a lot of other cool shit, go subscribe to Leak You. She also has another channel called Interloper Nation. But go subscribe to this woman. She is a biracial beauty, intelligent as all get out. But she had the video. I couldn't find it. But here it is. Exclusive. Khalil Amani sits in the hot seat with Wack 100. Let's see, when was this? How many months ago was this? Oh, wow, it's been a year? My God. It's been a year? I said 6 months. It's been a year. But there I am. Me and Mr. Wack 100. I'll play a little bit so you can hear my voice and Wack 100's voice.
Well, him and Captain Tazariot. Yes, he said him. So he know Cap.
Go back just a tad.
In Las Vegas. So he started.
I knew you were Cash Jones from Twitter. From Twitter, I knew you were Cash Jones.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And the interview that he did with you, that's in Straight Stuntin', I'm in that book. I'm in that same issue also.
Gotcha. When I was in the red shooter, the lowrider.
Yeah, I'm in that same issue. Damn, I pulled it out the other day. I said, "Oh, look at this. There's Wack 100," and I turned the page, and there I am. So we're in the same.
He also saved his photos with him and Captain Tazariot.
Okay, so he's making reference to this magazine right here. I'm telling him about me and him being in the same magazine. There he is And there I am. Okay. I'm gonna come back and do a second part because I'm gonna find the article I did. And I also want to talk about Wack 100 and the incident he had, an alleged fight. I want to talk a little bit about him and Big U the night that Wack 100 was riding around Los Angeles looking for Tretch to fight him. And Wack 100 went missing and AWOL for about 24 hours. And just to make a long story short, everybody was saying that this rap collective, this rap group, these guys, these Samoans called the Booyah Tribe, they were saying that Wack 100 had gotten beaten up that night because Tretch, naughty by nature, was supposed to be in LA and he was hanging out with the Booyah Tribe, those Samoan brothers. And Wack 100 was riding around with Big U that night. That's a fact. Wack 100 was riding around with Big U that night, looking for Tretch because they had beef. They had alt. And the word on the street was that Wack 100 actually ran up on Tretch, but it wasn't Tretch who fought him. That it was one of those brothers, one of those Samoan brothers from the Booyah Tribe rap group that said, I'll fight you. I'll take the fade. And it is alleged that Wack 100 took a beat down that night. Certainly, we were all watching on live as Wack 100 and Big U rode around Los Angeles that night. He was on live doing it. But the next day, all communication from Wack 100 went quiet as a church mouse. And for about 24 hours, which was uncharacteristic of Wack 100, he was quiet. He was nowhere to be found on social media. Not even a post. And so bloggers were assuming that Wack 100 had ran afoul of the Booyah Tribe, and those brothers put him on his pockets, made him tap out, and put that nigga to sleep. This is what the word was on the streets. Where's Wack 100? Where is Wack 100? Where is Wack 100? Where is Wack 100? This is uncharacteristic. 24 hours, no Wack 100. Is it true that the Booyah Tribe whipped his ass? Well, I had to get my Professor Jacques Cousteau. I had to get my Sherlock Holmes on and find out why was Wack 100 AWOL. Let me call DJ K Slay, because DJ K Slay and Wack 100 were like this. So I put in a call to my good brother DJ K Slay. I still have his number in my phone. Let me show it to you. See right there? There's no numbers. Yeah. There's K Slay's number. Although he is deceased, I will never take K Slay's number out of my phone. I call K Slay and he answers the phone and I says, my good brother, I need some information. The social media streets are abuzz saying that Wack 100 got his ass handed to him by the Booyah Tribe. What do you know about it? What can you tell me? I need some information. DJ K Slay said, no, hell no. He ain't get beat up, hell no. But for some reason, as much as I wanted to believe Wack 100, because Wack 100 and K Slay they're real good friends. But my hip hop boss, DJ K Slay, he was protesting a little too much. Made me suspicious. Because the word was out that the Booyah Tribe had beat up Wack 100. So what does K Slay do? He says, hold on, Khalil. And Wack 100 puts me on hold. DJ K Slay, DJ K Slay puts me on hold. Did I say that right? I was talking to DJ K Slay. He said that Wack 100 was A-OK and nothing happened. Hell no. So DJ K Slay puts me on hold and then dials Wack 100's number. He doesn't tell me. He just says, hold on a minute. And then when DJ K Slay comes back on the line, I'm on three-way with Wack 100. And K Slay says to Wack 100, yo, Wack, I got one of my straight stunting writers on the line. Khalil, say what's up. Hey, what's up, Wack 100? Hey. And then Wack goes, what up? And then K Slay proceeds to talk about what the whole internet is talking about. So K Slay says, yo, Wack 100, tell my man that you didn't get beat up last night by no Booyah Tribe. And so then Wack 100 said, nah, hell nah. Ain't nobody get beat up. Nah. So I said, well, you know, that's what's going on the internet right now. They're saying you got knocked out last night by the Booyah Tribe. And then Wack 100, nah, hell nah, nigga. Nah, I ain't get whacked up. Yeah, I ain't getting knocked out. Nah, I was looking for that fool. I was looking for that trench nigga, but I ain't find him, blah, 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 blah. Me and Big U, blah, blah, blah. I said, okay. And then I hung up the phone with Wack and with DJ K Slay. About a day later, Wack 100 comes on Instagram. Yeah, Instagram. He does a live. But I'm looking at one of his eyes. I believe it was his left eye. I'm looking at his eye and I notice that he has a lazy left eye. I never noticed that Wack 100 had a lazy left eye. It looked to me, it wasn't a black eye, but it looked like he had an eye jammy. It looked like he might have had a cold steak on his eye for about 24 hours. Thus, maybe that's why we didn't see him for 24 hours. Clearly, something was wrong with one of his eyes. The eyelid was hanging. And when I looked in the comments, sure enough, the trolls and the commenters were saying the same thing, the same observation, and that was, nigga, what's wrong with your left eye? Or maybe it was his right eye, one of his eyes. They were saying the same thing. Nigga, why is your left eye partially closed? Why is your eyelid hanging? Nigga, you took an eye jammy last night from the Booyah Tribe. The comments were saying this shit. And so I just thought about the conversation I had with DJ K Slay and Wack 100, listening to their strong denials about a fight with the Booyah Tribe and about Wack 100 getting knocked out. I just listened. But it was apparent to me, that perhaps Wack 100 did catch a mean one. It was apparent. I thought it, and 90% of the comments on Instagram on his live were saying the same thing. But I had heard it from DJ K Slay. I had heard it from the man Wack 100 himself. I don't know. But I'm going to try to find that article. The article that made Wack 100 say he was going to whip my ass. But I just wanted to come to you all today and share that. This is Khalil, Amani's World 100, and this is what I do. I have fun and I share. I'm 65 years old. I'm retiring on May the 23rd, 2025. I got my 20. I just got my 20-year plaque as an employee of Kaiser Permanente. They're all out in California too. I'm retired. I did 20 years. I can't believe I stayed with one job for 20 years. All right, y'all. I've had fun. My voice is tired. I got more videos to do this weekend. If you haven't liked it, like the video, subscribe. I'm looking for subscribers. I did at one time have a channel with 14,000 subscribers. Long story, but YouTube took it. Some rebuilding. That's why I only have 226 subscribers. So won't you be 227? Don't look at my numbers and say, oh, he's a nobody. I really had a pretty large following. And everybody knows me. Wack 100, Captain Desariat, DJ K Slade. And by the way, if you didn't know, I'm also the guy who wrote the first article about Africa Bambaataa getting stabbed in the year 2013. You can Google and research Africa Bambaataa and you will see my name will come up in conversation. So I've been all over the place, a government informant. But as I close, thank you, Mr. Wack 100, for allowing me to be in your vicinity. Thank you for speaking up for us civilians and allowing us to have that right to go to the police, to go to the FBI, to go to the ATF, to go to the CIA, and to do what civilians do. We live in a free, first world nation of laws. And if the Crips and the Bloods and the BDs and the GDs, if they have rules and regulations, if they can have big homies that they can run to for help and aid in fights and in murder and whatever they're doing, then God damn it, we civilians should have the same right to go to our big homie, the law. With that, I talk to y'all soon, and I love you all for a better world. Peace.